just want to confirm that
I just
audio.
want us to be sure that
Yeah.
the audio is clear enough for the audience.
For me, it's clear, so and there is no problem here. Okay, Sunday said it's okay. There is no
Okay, fine.
echo.
Okay, fine.
There is no echo. Thank you, Sunday, for letting us know. So we are ready to kick off. I would like to share this on my page. Uh, guys, on in the group, remember you won't be able to share from the group, but if you go to Life Excel's page or to my personal page, Ape Omede, you will be able to share from there to anywhere else you want to. You can share from Life Excel Resource Center page. You can share from Success Converge page. You can share also from Intentional Excellence page. Um, are we going without video feed? Shun, I don't know what you mean by that because the video is live now. Can you let me know? So if the video is not displaying where on YouTube or on Facebook or here on here on Emit because we are live on Facebook. The video is live and on YouTube the video is live. So if you're not seeing it on Emit, that's quite strange. Um, so quickly, if you can share anywhere possible from the pages, that would be very very lovely. And then we'll just kick off after that. I'm just trying to share on my personal page. Wow, I can't. That's interesting. I can't share on my page. I can't share on my personal page. It's on my page, but I can't share on my profile. That's, that's quite wow. What's happening? Okay, so let me try and share from Life Excel. Life Excel page then to my personal profile. Shina, on Emit, you can't see us on Emit. Wow, that's you can't see us on Emit. Yeah, my camera is on. Sam Smako's camera is on, and the streaming is streaming on Facebook and on YouTube, and everything is fine from what I'm seeing here. Everything is fine. The videos are displaying properly on Facebook and on YouTube. So, Shina, I don't know exactly what is the problem, and I just hope that it won't be a problem to every other person who will be joining. Okay, yeah, the video is up now. Thanks for letting me know. So that means we have everything sorted. We will start now. I just want to be able to see what's happening here so that I can um, give feedback. All right. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining again. My name is Ape Omede. I am the anchor and the host with my team at Life Excel Resource Center of Success Converge. So, Success Converge is a monthly event that we host at Life Excel Resource Center where We bring people together to a platform where we make everyone believe that success is possible and excellence is within reach. We live in a generation where, um, you know, we see people succeed, we see people excel, we see the level of competition in our workplaces, in our private lives, in our families, and we begin to ask ourselves if success is within reach, if success is possible, if excellence is a possibility. Because most times we get intimidated by other people's success. But what we do at Life Excel and Success Convert is to let you know that success is possible, excellence is possible. That is the reason why we put up this program every month, alongside every other thing that we do. And today is one of those sessions where we believe that you're going to receive a transformational experience. You're going to enjoy the session, you're going to be impacted, and you're going to move forward in your life, move forward in your goals, especially as it has to do with your career, because that is the focus of today's session: how to excel in your career. Before we move on, I'd like to just say a short prayers and commit the session together to inspire us and to guide us and to give us wisdom that will benefit us all. So, if you don't mind, I'll just say a short prayer and we'll just move from there. Father, we thank you and we bless you for this session today. We thank you for how good and gracious you've been unto us. We thank you for all the blessings we receive from you every day. We thank you because we have the privilege to tap into your wisdom and to share it with our generation. We commit this session to you, Lord, and we pray that you will release the spirit of excellence upon us, upon our speaker, and everyone who will be listening, and give us an open heart to receive from you, so that by the end of this session, we all go away from it with a touch in our hearts that will translate into our everyday life and also bring a transformation in the area of our career pursuits and goals. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much for joining in that short prayers. And yeah, we're back again. Life Excel is a faith-based, non-denominational, youth-led youth development organization. Like I said, our vision is to create a platform where we inspire young people of all ages to believe that excellence is possible, and we'll provide them with platforms and opportunities to, get to take those steps toward becoming the people of excellence. And one of the things we do is Success Convert, which is a platform for, pushing this narrative forward as much as we can. And throughout this year, we've been focused on all-round excellence. That was our theme for the year, all-round excellence. And our goal was to target every aspect of our life or key core areas of our lives and talk to those areas in the direction of excelling in them. So we talked about vision already. We talked about relationship, business. We talked about purpose. We talked about wisdom. We talked about financial excellence, and all that. So we've been handling a lot of topics throughout this year, and today we want to talk about your career. Now, everybody has a desire to excel in their careers, whether it is as a business person or as a civil servant, or somebody who works for other people, who works in the industry. It's either you're working in industry or you're working for the government or you're working for yourself. And so whatever it is that is your case, one thing I'm sure you desire is to excel in your career, and that is my case as well. And that's why I'm really really looking forward to our conversation today, because I believe that it's going to be very very useful and helpful to each and every one of us. The man that is going to be speaking to us today is someone that I believe that many of you know. If you are my friend on Facebook, you should have known him by now, unless you're not my friend on Facebook. And if you're someone who has been interested or who has had interests or currently having interest in the conversation around career, you must have met Coach Sam Semako before, physically or online, because one of the loudest people, if I say loud or loudest, I'm not talking about it from the negative perspective. I mean, talking about people who are showcasing themselves, showcasing their crafts, showcasing what skills that they bring or wisdom or knowledge that they bring to their generation online. That's what I mean. So if you talk about people, one of the loudest people when it comes to would I say messages or career teachings, career, anything that has to do with career development, then you know that Sam Semako is one of those at the top of that conversation all across the country and even beyond. I met Sam Semako online in 2013, 2014. I can't say exactly when again, but I think it was first time I came to Australia in 2013 and probably towards the end of 2013, then we met. And we have remained accountability partners since then till today. We've had opportunity to do a few things together, including the first time I had a session with him in person physically in Kogi State back in 2014. We've not had opportunity to talk again. I mean, sit down together and talk again like this in an event because one, distance, two, opportunity hadn't come up for us to do that. But today we're here again, and I'm really, really excited because I know that Sam Simako is going to deliver richly today. Sam is many things at the same time. He is a very loving and easygoing person. I've never seen him get angry or complain about. He hasn't hardly complains of things. He is very, very easygoing, takes life easy, loves people deeply. I see the way he goes out of his way to showcase other people's crafts or showcase other people's talents and gifts and all that. I see the way he stands in to help and support people achieve their dreams and their goals, especially as it has to do with careers and all that. He's a very loving man. He is the founder of CareerWise Consult, which is a platform that he uses to, coach people on, career strategies that they can use to up their game when it comes to their goals in their career. I'm sure that in the process of the conversation, we're going to get to know more about him. Maybe he would have to say one or two things about himself as well to further introduce himself to you, the more. But I want to hand over to Coach Sam Semako to take it from here and lead us on the conversation on how we can excel in our career. Can we give Sam a virtual round of
In
applause from
virtual,
wherever you
yeah, virtual clubs, yeah. Dr. Ape, yeah, I can see the virtual clubs. Yeah, thank you,
are?
and the loves. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Dr. Appel, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share on your platform. I know this is not the first time we've done this together before in Kogi State,
Yep.
Ayimba. I hope I pronounced that right. Yeah, so we've done
Yep.
that together, despite the fact that we've never met physically. That's before then. You gave me
Yep.
the opportunity, and you also told me to recommend two other people. I did,
Yep.
and you believed in them. You believed in my recommendation, and they were there. And all of us we saw for the first time in 2014, and it was
Yep.
marvelous. It was beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Of course, you know I do, and I know you do too. Yeah, and your family. Thank you so much for all that you do. Yeah, so we are all in this to make people's life better. That's what we do. That's what you do. And like you said, and I'll say that about myself. If there is anything I love people. I love people. I
Mm.
love to see people progress in life. I love to people excel in whatsoever they are doing. I can quickly give you an instance. I met a young man then. He's married now. He's in Ibadan. When I came to Jos, he graduated and he was doing car wash. He started a car wash business close to University
Mm.
of Jos. Then he finished from University of Jos. It's not everyone that will finish from a university and start a car wash close to the university. You know this
Mm.
ego thing. Some people won't do that. So I decided to go there every week to sit with him. Of course, I wasn't having a car then. I would just go there, sit with him. Why was I doing that? Just to encourage him, just to
Wow.
give him encouragement. And I do that for so many people, especially if you are starting out. I love to be the encouragement that you need. And I do that because I love people. And I know you love people too. That's why you are still doing what you're doing. You could decide that you just sit with your university lecturing and you won't bother about anybody. Your family, it's your ultimate concern, and you forget about everybody. But no, you decide to say, I need to reach out to people, I need to carry people along. And that's what we've been doing. And that's Sam Semako for you. Yeah, what else do I need to tell you? Of course, I'm married. I tell people I don't look like it when I tell them the number of kids I have, that I have 4 kids, and the first one is in the secondary school, going to the senior secondary school now. You know, people don't be, especially even the teachers. When I go to, I remember when I went for open day, and the one of the form, is it the form master was like, "Are you sure you are the father to so person?" I say, yes, I'm the father, you know. So that's me. I do a whole lot of things. I'm also a guest writer for some organizations, some individuals that you might not know. You might not know that Sam Semako is behind those brands, but I do that too. Career-wise consult, here I talked about, I have an organization, company called Tax Assistant. We take tax on for individuals and organizations. I think I should stop on that so that we'll go to the meat of the matter, what we have to do today. And basically, we are talking about how to excel in your career. Your career. You know, your career is your responsibility. Your career, it's your own responsibility. Nobody else's responsibility. It's yours. It's solely yours. If anybody's sure, it's just like what we're doing at Dr. Apple is trying to come up with a session so that your career can get better, you can excel. Yeah, someone or somebody else might come up to assist you or do something or give you a leverage or give you a book that will help you excel. That is by the wayside. Your responsibility is your career is your responsibility. So we need to get that straight away, that if you want to excel in your career, it's your responsibility. I remember a story about two young, funny, two young guys. There's a wise man. Maybe you've heard a version of that story. There's a wise man in a city, in a village. He knows everything. So they caught a butterfly and went to meet the old wise man and said, you know, the butterfly was in the hand of the young man and said, wise man, is this butterfly dead or alive? Is this butterfly dead or alive? And the old wise man kept quiet for a while, looked at them, and said, if it's going to be alive, it's up to you. And if it's going to be dead, it's up to you. So your career, it's in your hand. If it's going to be alive, it's in your hand. If it's going to die, it's in your hand. In other words, if your career will excel, it's in your hand. In 16th century, there was a man called Parmentier. He was a biochemist. He was so many things in one. In terms of career, so many things in one man. Then he used to work with the French army. At about that time, the French army went to war with the German. German, is it Germany or Germans? The Germans, they went to war. Yeah, so
German.
Germans, yeah. So he was caught, Parmentier was caught as one of the prisoners of war, POWS. So he was kept in the prison and he was fed with Irish potatoes. He was fed with Irish potatoes and with other prisoners. But you know why he was fed with Irish potatoes? You might not know. you might know. So let me tell you, the reason he was fed with Irish potatoes was because at that time, if you eat Irish potato, it is believed that you will die or you catch a disease at that time. There was just like we had COVID, there was an issue like that that had to do with Irish potato. Just like at a point in time, we had issues to do with rats. So there was an epidemic with Irish potatoes at that time. So Parmentier was fed with that with other prisoners. Later, he was released and he went back to France. As a wise man, as a researcher, he was a thorough researcher. So he researched and he felt, of course, he didn't die. He now researched and found out that Irish potato was nutritious. Then he was a friend to the king. He walked up to the king, King Louis, and said, "Sir, let's plant Irish potatoes in France." And of course, that got, we have what is called the palace rats or palace, what do I call it now? People who, if they pick news from the palace or words from the palace and share in town, somebody picked that and went to the farmers and told the farmers that, see what Parmentier is suggesting. The farmers said, no, no, we will not plant Irish potato. They went to the king. So for a time, that was kept aside. But Parmentier kept talking to the king. Then the king gave Parmentier some useless hectares of land outside Paris. Parmentier did four things. 4 or 5 things. Okay, we'll get to it. So Parmentier took the land, planted the Irish potatoes. Of course, it's close to some farmland. Some people pass there to go to their farmlands. People pass there. So he planted the Irish potatoes. So the first thing he did after planting, he built a tall fence around those Irish potatoes. Then the second thing he did, he put security guards around there. Then the third thing he did, he put a notice on the wall and said, "This is meant for the nobles."
Wow.
The notice, this is meant for the nobles. So the fourth thing he did after a while, people were passing, seeing this thing. Dr. Ape, if you are close to your environment now, if there is a fence that is so tall that you can't see inside of the place, and there are security men, army, soldiers around there, and there is a notice placed on it, this is meant for the nobles, what will happen? You'll be curious, of course. People who were passing were curious. They were wondering what could be here, what is here that is meant for the nobles, and soldiers are placed around here, and they couldn't see inside. So after a while, the fourth thing Parmentier did, he said the soldiers should go off guard. So they went off guard for a while. Then farmers and other people they found, of course, the gate was opened and not locked. So they got inside and found what was there, plants, of course, vegetations, right? Then they stole some of them and took to their farm. Of course, what do? You have to plant it because they saw they planted them. So they started planting them in their farms. And that was how the cultivation of Irish potato grew in France. You can Google this. You'll find it. If you Google Parmentier and the Irish potato, you'll find the story. Of course, I also restructured the story in a way. So in the meals in France now, when you talk about meat pies and some of their meals, you find Irish potatoes. And even there are special meals that is even named after Parmentier because of this feat, So the bottom line of the story is that Parmentier was a wise perception manager. He changed the perception of Irish potatoes. So what has this got to do with you? You see, when we talk about your career, it's about perception. It's all about perception. Everything you do is about perception. The first time you are seeing me on screen, you look at my size, my shape. I say this when I go to speak. You first size me up. What has this man got to say? Look at his head, look at his eyes, look at his teeth, look at what he's wearing. You come up with certain perceptions. Let me even hear what he wants to say. So until I open my mouth and speak, that's when maybe your perception will shift or change. It happens. Sometimes you see some people, you say this one cannot, or you say this one is like a gate man. Then they now tell you he is the father of the president of Namibia. Oh, he's the president. I have a friend who is a medical doctor. If you meet the mom, he has two kids. She has two kids, two children that are medical doctors. But if you meet her on the way, you look down on her until they tell you this is the mother of doctor so. That will change or shift your perception. And it happens every day. So Parmentier knew that the Irish potato has got bad perception. So, and it's nutritious. How can I change this perception? The truth is that you've got value. You've got huge value that you can deliver, but the perception about you, it's not the right perception. So your responsibility is to change that perception about you. And when we are talking about, Dr. Ape, you want to say something?
No. Keep going, Sam.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. So for you to excel in your career, one of the things you need to do is you need to change the perception about you, just like the wise Parmentier did. It's very key. Take note, everything is perception. Before I started talking, you had a certain perception about me. And right now is shifting, is changing gradually. That, oh, so this guy has got so much wisdom inside of him. It's shifting,
Hmm.
right? You bear with me. Yeah. So how to excel in your career? My name is Sam Semako. That's the way I always say it on radio. I'm the principal consultant of CareerWise Consult. Yeah. So what are the things you need to know and do to excel in your career? I have a PowerPoint prepared. Maybe at the end of the session, you can reach out to Dr. Ape and we'll send that to your emails. What are the things you need to know and do to excel in your career? We'll do a quick one. Number one, get clear on the game you want to play in. If you want to excel in your career, get clear on the game you want to play in. Of course, the game I'm talking about is the industry, the field you want to play in. It's not enough to say, I want to excel in my career. Yes, we might have an undergraduate here listening and watching us. We might have a graduate that's you study philosophy like I did, or you study chemical engineering, you study whatsoever, animal production, but you are still not clear the game you want to play in, the industry you want to play in. Recently I was with a young man who said he wants to study agriculture. And I said, well, that's fine. In fact, he's specific animal husbandry or production or something like that. But I told him, I said, yeah, that's fine. But in the world we are in now, the game is changing. You don't just stick with animal production. What if you're a young man? What if you get to align yourself with tech, get to know more about tech, and there's what is called career intersection, animal production and technology. There is an intersection, if you remember Venn diagram. So in
Yes.
between there, you are talking about animal production and tech. You can add tech to anything you are doing now. Tech and whatsoever you are doing, and it changes the game for you. So it's very important that you are aware of the game you want to play in. Even in tech animal production, it's a wide field. There are specific in that field. What area or what field in that industry do you want to play in? It's very important. All these are not taught to us while we were in the university. And one of the persons who did this to us, for me, was our HOD, Dr. Olajide Ojo, when I was studying philosophy. In the final class, he said, let's forget about philosophy. Let's talk about life. and this is a man that will not ordinarily just come and talk with students. We see him as a very hard man, except you are exceptionally brilliant or something, there's a unique characteristics about you, he can get drawn to you. But on this day, he called all the final year students and said, let's talk about life. Let's forget about philosophy. And he was able to tell us, this is what you can do with philosophy. This is what you can do with your life. And that changed everything. Can I tell you that up till now, I can't even remember anything he taught me in philosophy, but I can remember this particular scenario
Hmm.
when he said, let's forget about philosophy and talk about life. I can still remember. It's one of the things that is my motivation for what I do as a career coach, because so many people don't even know what they want to do with their lives. You need to get clear on that. Clarity is the major thing, the bottom line of everything I'm saying today. You need to get clear on the game you want to play in, the industry you want to play in. Even in your industry, there are specifics. We don't have the time to go drill down on that. There are specific in, let's say, career coaching. Now there are specific. You could be career coaching for single mothers. You could be a career coach for first time mothers. You could be a career coach for executives. You could be a career coach for teenagers. You could be a career coach for PhD holders or master
Yes.
students. It varies. There are
At least
specifics. So
I know two. At least I know two career coaches that their niche is PhD holders. At least I know
yeah,
two people.
yeah, that's it. You need to know the game you want to play in. Is it soccer you want to play? Is it basketball you want to play? Of course, I'm using that as figuratively, right? So, what game do you want to play in? That's the first thing. You have to be clear on that. Then the next thing is that you need to get clear on your personality type. You need to get clear on
Hmm.
your personality type. Maybe this one needs to come first, I don't know, or maybe it needs to come second. You can determine that, because we are at different stages or different levels of our life. I tell people, don't choose a career until you get to know who you are. Don't choose a career until you get to know who you are. But we turn it the other way around. We choose a career before trying to get to know ourselves, which is the wrong way, right? But our educational system too is not helping. For me, if I'm told to decide on the educational destiny or processes of our nation, I'll tell them that career discovery needs to be added right from primary school, secondary school, university level. All that needs to be added from you begin to teach children how to discover their career right from primary school to the university level. Discovery doesn't end. In fact, Dr. Ape, you are still knowing yourself. You've not finished knowing yourself, right? So, and we choose career, we are educated, we are taught chemistry, biology, and they don't teach you about yourself. It's an anomaly. So that's the first thing that you need to do. And how do you get to know about yourself? There are several ways, but first I'll tell you personal introspection at this level of your life, because I know I'm talking to mature people. You need to
Hmm.
spend time on your own. I created 15 questions that I won't be able to provide here. I'll leave it with, I'll send that to Dr. Ape. You need to ask yourself these questions. For instance, yes, I know I was in a session yesterday. They said we should stop asking who am I. Rather, you ask whose I am I, or whose I am, or something like that. But who am I is still a question we can still ask that can take us a little further. But there are other questions you can still ask. You need to sit down and ask yourself basic life questions all about yourself. Then
Yeah.
what I tell people is that look for a quiet place and get a notebook and write answers that comes to your mind. Don't shoot them down. Write them down. There are
Do you know,
basic
sir?
I Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Feel free to. It's a
Yeah, yeah.
conversation.
my mind just went back to year 2000,
Okay, sir.
99, 2000, when I did exactly this thing you're talking about. I didn't know that this was what it was called personal introspection, sitting down to ask yourself questions. But I know that clearly that 99, 2000, in fact, that should be end of first semester year one in the university, when I was still battling with what career path I should follow. I know I asked some questions, so it's good to know that that was what I was doing then.
Yeah, it's something everybody needs to do from time to time.
Mm.
It's not just one time thing. Then when I was working with ProHealth International, when I'm traveling, I often go with books and my notebook. While we're in the bus traveling long distance, one of the things I do, I keep asking myself questions. For instance, I asked myself one question one day. I said, what do I want out of life? What do I want out of life? And I picked my biro and I started writing everything that came to my mind down. The notebook is still there, the journal is still there till date. So I wrote everything. I just wrote as they were coming. So have a journal where you ask yourself questions. In career discovery, too, one of the things you need to know is that what is that question you want answers to? What is that question? That's in terms of career discovery. There is, for all of us, you must, when you are talking about career, you are looking for solution, or you are ready to provide solution to certain problem in your society, your environment, or the world at large. So there is a question you must answer. For somebody might be asking the question, how can people become rich? And that becomes his life work, his life focus. How can animals get better? That's somebody's life focus. All these courses that we've studied or we are studying, someone at a point in time asked a question and came up with created a course out of it. Take, for instance, philosophy. How can people live a better life? How can people think better? And maybe philosophy emerged out of asking such questions. So let's get back to your personal introspection. Ask yourself different questions. Some answers will not come immediately to you. Some answers will come while you are doing your chores, or you are doing dishes, or you are doing laundry, or you are taking a walk, and answers will just pop into your head. They might not come immediately, and they might come immediately. So for your getting to know yourself in terms of personal introspection, it's a lifelong task that you need to keep doing. Then secondly, you need to take personality tests. I've taken several. There are different personality tests. There is one particularly I use for my when I'm training. There are some graduates we train every year. We're doing one in September. We are starting September 5. We'll be training 96 graduates. There's something called Ocean, OCEAN. Ocean. You can Google it, Ocean Personality Test. You learn about, there are those Ocean, OCEAN, is a personality test, or they call it the Big Five. The Big Five factor personality test. You Google that, read it up. The Ocean is an acronym. For the
Okay.
O is openness. So it's an acronym that this shows you who you are. Then take the test, and once you take the test, it will show you who you are. There's another personality test called John Holland. Holland as in Netherlands, Holland, and John Holland's personality test. Or you call it RIASEC, RIASEC, RIASEC personality test. So go and take it. When you take it, it shows you who you are. Then I'll give you another one. I'll give you two more. There's something called DISC, DISC, DISC personality test. This one you can even pay for it so that you can get. In fact, all of the majority of them are free, but there are also paid version. The paid version gives you more details, right? Then the last personality test I will tell you about is what is called animal personality test. Animal personality test. You see, this animal personality test, they might tell you're a rat. You laugh and you wonder, me rat? And it will
Mm.
surprise you the kind of attributes, characteristics, positive characteristics that rats have. They have, right? So take this personality test, and it will show you who you are. There are other things you can do, which I won't be able to, maybe another time, that I won't be able to touch on today. But these four, it's a good guide for you. There's even a movie called, I'm trying to remember it now. Uh, that movie itself has a personality test. I've also taken that before. I can't
Divergent.
remember. I'm trying to recall. If I recall the movie before I will
Divergent.
let. Divergent, yes. Divergent has a personality. Yes, it has a personality test. You can Google Divergent personality test if you've watched the movie. I have the book. I have the book from which the movie is made. You can take the test, and it opens your eyes to. One of the secrets is that there are words that you can come up to describe yourself ordinarily. When you take this personality test, summary or career summary on your CV, some of the words from this personality test, your results, you can also use some of them on your profile or career summary on your CV. And these are things people don't even know, because you lack words to
You know that.
describe yourself. Dr. Apple, you want to say something?
I didn't know that you can use, the summary of a personality test to write your personal summary. So it's something new I'm learning from this session
True.
today.
True. So the next thing you need to do when you want to excel in your career is you need to get clear on the ocean you want to swim in. I think this one is also tied to the game you want to play in a way. Okay, let's even say ocean now. Let me be specific. Let me drive it down. I didn't mention niche the other time. I just mentioned industry, though I also said there are specifics in your industry. But here right now, let's even call it a niche. You know, um, well, let me also tie it up to this first. For some of you who are starting out, you need to know the ocean or the river you need to swim in. For some of you, if you decide to jump into an ocean, there is a river, there is a stream, there is a pond. For some of you who are starting out in your career, you might need to swim in a pond first so that you learn how to swim. You don't just jump into an ocean is larger, is bigger, so you need to learn some tricks, some trade secrets, or learn how to, for instance, sometimes you need to go become an apprentice to someone. Let me give you an instance. Let's assume somebody has become an apprentice to Dr. Ape in the last 5 years, that he has been doing this thing, last 6 years, 7 years. And let's say in the next 10 years, Dr. Ape is ready to release him to start on his own. Of course, there is independency level in mentoring and coaching, but sometimes you still make a recourse back to your coach or your mentor, right? So when
Yes.
you come across some obstacles or challenges, but at that independent stage, yeah, that you are now, and I'm telling you, if you are starting out after learning from Dr. Apple for 5, 6, 7, 10 years, you can't start it the way everybody who is starting it. There are loads of things you must have learned along the way that will be a game changer for you. But some of us, you just want to jump into the ocean without becoming an apprentice or a mentee or a coachee. You think you can do it all on your own? No. There are trade secrets that you need to learn. There are things you need to learn before you can jump into the ocean. Your master or your mentor or your coach can help you decide the ocean you need to swim in with his
Mm.
guidance. So we need to know that too. Basically, here I'm talking about apprenticeship or mentoring. Even if you are going to swim in any ocean, your master has been in that ocean. He knows that ocean very well. He has traveled. Let me give you practical instance. There is a story building in Jos called JD Gowon Building. It's ninth floor. AIT used to be there. I used to work there some years ago. There was a day I was standing on the ninth floor, and I was through with the windows are open glasses like that. So I was looking from there. I could see the whole of a place called West of Mine and beyond. Then when I stepped down, I couldn't even see far. And the wisdom that came to me in that is that this is who mentors are. Mentoring is about perspective. Mentors can see different perspectives compared to the perspective. You can only see maybe one or two perspectives, but mentors can see more than 9, 10 perspectives. Sometimes when you are talking with a mentor and he says, have you considered this? And I say, oh, I didn't even see it like that. That's perspective. That's called perspective. You couldn't see far, but your mentor can see back, front perspective, side perspective. You can only see the front perspective. So that's what the benefit of having a mentor, a coach. He can see so many perspectives that you can see. So the same thing with the ocean you want to swim in. Your mentors know where the sharks are, whether you be eaten up with a shark or not. Your mentors know whether you should go far or not. So you need to decide the ocean you need to swim in with your mentor, with your coach. It's very important if you want to excel in your career. Number 4, except Dr. Apple wants to say something on that.
No, keep going, sir. Keep going.
So number 4, get clear on the game-changing skills in your industry. Get clear on the game-changing skills. There are skills. There are high income skills. There are low income skills. There are medium level income skills. So there's something called game-changing skills. If you have them in different fields, there are game-changing skills. So if you have this, you need to know. I might not be able to pinpoint the game-changing skills in your industry, but as I'm saying this, it's coming to your consciousness that, oh, there are game-changing skills in my industry. Then the question you need to ask yourself is, what are the game-changing skills in my industry? Very important that you ask that question. If you don't, you just be going for. They needed a hub manager, then they need front end developer, then they needed a secretary, right? So I advertised, and if you know the numbers of people who applied for secretary, there are many. Let me give you, let's say 20, 30 people, 50 people apply for secretary. When it comes to front end developer, ask me how many people applied.
How many, sir?
Maybe like 3 or 4. Yeah, I think max, if it's up to 5, I can't remember. You know why? Front end developer, the skills needed are high tech skill, high income skill. But for secretary, in fact, virtually everybody can do the job of a secretary, right? Because the skills required are low level skills. You can see it's very important that you identify the game-changing skills in your industry. Those game-changing skills will bring you visibility. They will bring you high income. They will bring you in contact with high net worth people. You can, take for instance, now you are the manager of a bank, and there's this high net worth customer or customer of your bank, and you want to send someone to go and meet him. You don't just send anybody to go and meet such a client or such customer. The person you are going to meet must be someone who can communicate effectively, someone who is very presentable. You watch out for all these skills, all these characteristics before you can send such a person out to that high net worth client. You are annoyed or you are angry because in your workplace they send certain persons to go out to meet some certain individuals, and you are getting annoyed. Don't get annoyed. You don't have the skills or you don't have the characteristics. You need to go and develop that. That's why you are not being called. They are setting up projects in your, they send people out to set projects in your company, and you are not being sent out. You don't have project management skills and you are getting annoyed. You don't get annoyed. Go and get those skills. They are game changing skills in your industry. Let's assume we call for, we need vacancy for sweepers. There are so many people who apply for sweeper. Now tell me vacancy for those who will lecture PhD students in aeronautic engineering. You get few. So you need to identify the game-changing skills in your industry. So number 5, get clear on the models you need to follow and learn from. There are models and mentors that you can learn from everywhere, online and offline. So you need to identify the models. When I say models, I'm talking about people you can learn from, teachers you can learn from. They are all around you in your field. You need to identify those, and they are there. They are numerous. They are numerous. You can mention them. When you are talking about career coaching, now you are talking about Jimmy Tewe. When you are talking, name them. When you are talking about shameless marketing, you are talking about Emeka Nobis. When you are talking about accounting, you are talking about Choma Ifeanyi Eze. When you are talking about digital marketing, maybe I will mention John Obidi. Talk about, your industry. You know your industry, and you should be able to identify key players. I'm talking about key players in your industry. They have the trade secrets in your industry, and you need to learn from them. For instance, how do you learn from them? They have a course that you need to take, pay to learn. And when you pay, let me tell you this secret that people don't know. When you pay to learn from them, you follow them on social media platform, you like their posts, you comment on their posts. You know what you are doing? You are showing yourself to them. Social media will notify them that Sam Semako is following you. Sam Semako shared your post. Sam Semako did this. Sam Semako did that. That's what social media platform does. They acknowledge your presence. They tell those key players in your industries, and they are taking note of you. A day will come that when you need help, or they need to recommend you, they will mention you. They will respond to you. You are not buying their courses, you are not following them, you are not commenting, you are not sharing their posts. How will they identify you? How will they identify with you? And when you need their help, they can't. I remember somebody commented on one of my posts and said, please talk about my business. He had never bought my book. He has never shared my post. He had you just show up. I should just share your business. Like, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't.
No,
You
no.
must be a loyal follower. You must have contributed to my own career before I can contribute to your own career. That's how it works. So identify those who are key players in your industry and play along with them. Identify key players in your industry and play along with them. So very important. Then 6, get clear on the game-changing tools in your industry. It's not enough to say, I want to play in this industry or in this career. There are tools for every industry. There are very important tools for every industry. Thank God for technology. Now, there's something I teach, something called tech tools. I have some slides on that. Thank God for technology. We have YouTube, we have Twitter, there are different tech tools right now. But apart from that, all these cuts across your industry, they help your industry, they help your career, right? But in your specific industries, what are the tools that are needed? I remember on that show this morning, on Reading Business Show, I talked about technology tools. What are the tools you are using in your business? So in your own career, what are the tools that are very important? They are game changing for you in your industry. You need to identify all that. As I'm saying this, what you need to do, ask yourself, and as I'm asking those questions, write it down. At the end of this session, sit down somewhere and list those ones that can come to your head, that are coming to your head. Then this is the secret now. Go online. I tell my graduates when I'm teaching them, I said, all you need to do is this. Go on Google, type in, say you are in business, right? If you are in business, put business plus tools. If you are in agriculture, agriculture plus tools. That's agriculture tools. If you are in
Mm.
digital marketing, you type in digital marketing tools.
Tools.
Whatsoever child care tools, nursing tools, anything that is your field, type that name and put tools to it. That's the secret, right? Use that secret I'm giving you today, and you'll be able to see
Mm.
enough tools that are available to you. Once Google brings that up, what you need to do for each item that is brought up, Google that item. They will tell you, okay, let's say nursing tools. They tell you, let's say YouTube. Let me just assume YouTube. Google YouTube. They mention another item. Google it and check out how it is used. And that's what I do. That's what Dr. Apetu does. We research tools that can help our career and our destinies and our
I remember.
purposes. That's what we do.
Yeah, just a
I
few weeks ago, few weeks ago, I can't remember. I was just on Twitter, and then I saw this tweet from one lady, and she's actually a PhD student,
Hmm.
discussing how she does her literature review, which is
Hmm.
something in my field.
Wow.
Meanwhile, some weeks back, I taught some of my scholarship master academy students on how to do literature review in a week, or just in 2 or 3 weeks. I show them some tools that you can
Hmm.
use to do literature review in 2 to 3 weeks. But I saw this tweet by this lady. The tools she mentioned, I've never heard of them
You
before,
see?
and you can use them to do your review in less than the time I was thinking. I was thinking that with my skills or tools that I have, 3 weeks, 4 weeks is short. But with her tools, you can even reduce it to 2 weeks or less. Here on my
Those are
system now,
game
all
changing
the
tools.
extensions, yeah, all the extensions that on my Chrome now. If I share my screen with you, I'll just point to 3 or 4 of them I'm looking at here now.
Hmm.
That I had to pick them up immediately to add to my tools when it comes to researching materials for literature review and others. So I totally agree that there are game-changing tools. And if you don't know what these tools are for your field or industry, you will still be struggling.
You'll be left
Be struggling.
behind.
You'll be left behind. Yes,
Hmm.
definitely.
So the
Go
the
ahead.
seventh one, it's get clear on the game changing personal values you need to develop. Get clear on the game changing personal values that you need to develop. You see, you might be very good at what you do, but if you don't have strong personal values, you won't go far. You won't go far. So you need to develop. You see, in school, when we talk about education, it's about learning and character. Learning, I know some schools have that as their motto, learning and character. Character is very, very important. Someone says your certificate can get you the job, but your character will keep you in that job. Your
Mm.
certificate can get you the job, but your character will keep you in that job. And your character also means the way you deal with people, the way you relate with people. It talks about honesty, it talks about integrity, a whole lot. When you talk about value, it's very, very important that you develop strong personal values and strong work ethics. Very important that you need to develop that. Values are also game changing. You need to know which is very important. How do you relate with people? Do you observe personal space? You see someone put his bag and you go there, start rummaging through the person's bag. No, you've gone beyond your personal space into another person's personal space. There's a lot that you need to know about this and observe them, because you're being good or having the skills in your field alone is not enough. Are you sound? If Dr. Ape doesn't trust me, he won't be bringing me. Yes, I might be good in talking about career and things like that, but my integrity can be called to question. Yes, we are not saying we are perfect. I still have some
Mm.
shortcomings, right? But we are working towards perfection. But if those personal values. You've heard about, I read about I've forgotten his name now. He used to work with a news company online, very popular. But you know what he was doing? He was copying articles from somewhere, and was using it, and was and attaching his name to that. Eventually he was found out, and that brought him to the dust, you see. So we have to be careful. Yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about is get clear on the game changing visibility tools for you. It's not enough to be good in your career. There are visibility. What we are doing now, we are using visibility tools. We are using YouTube. We are using Facebook. We are using. You might be using Twitter. Those are visibility tools, and there are many. YouTube is a visibility tools for your career. It's not enough to be good at what you do. Begin to communicate what you do. Begin to share your daily career diary journal so that people see, oh, so you do that. So you do that. Let me give you a story around this. There was a time where to do a training called Skills Lab, just Skills Lab. And on the last day, at this point in time, I was not having a car. Yeah. So, and the leader of that training, Pemwa, my very good friend, Pemwa Samantha Deshi, she's on Facebook. Yeah, she said we want to buy some training tools in town. So I now walk up to her. I said, why don't you allow one of us to go out there to pick to buy training tools in town? She said, there's nobody here who can drive. Then I asked her, is there's nobody here who can drive sarcastically? She got the message. She now said, oh, I didn't know you can drive. As at that point, she had never seen me drive. So you see, if you are not talking about what you can do, you are hiding yourself. People
Wow.
won't know that you have such skills until you talk about. I'm in a particular place now. I'll soon be off this session to anchor. I'm in SOS Children Villages, Nigeria. I'm supposed to anchor talent and talent and vocational exhibition. They are actually waiting for me right now. So you see, if I don't talk about it, nobody will know that I can anchor. If I don't talk about career on my Facebook post, they won't know that I have such knowledge. So you need to talk about, you go for a training, talk about it, talk about things you learn in that training. That's how you become visible, and people are taking note that, oh, so you have these skills, you can do this, you can do that. They will begin to call you, come and talk to us, come and talk to our staff, come and do this session for us, come and do that. And that's how you need to do that. So like I said, your career is your responsibility. Those are the 8 points I'm dropping with you today. And if you do these things, it will change your career. You will excel in your career. And finally, your career is your responsibility. Mr. Okpe, you can come around. Mr. Okpe, yeah, Mr. Okpe is my host in SOS Children Villages, Nigeria here. Yeah. So that's my submission. Your career is your responsibility. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. And if you are in JOS and you are online, you need to participate in Career Shift. Scholarship Mastery Academy by Dr. Ape is supporting this. We are partners together in Career Shift happening 1st September 2022 in JOS. There is live session. You can participate online, virtually. It's a paid session. You can get across to me or Dr. Ape to find out more. You can find me on Facebook, Sam Semako. Thank you, Dr. Ape Omede.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Coach Sam. Really, 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 really exciting to hear some of this point, and listening and seeing that even there is no end to knowledge and there is no end to learning at all. What we need to do is just to be open to new things as they come our way, and that's what I've done. And I see that I can pick up a lot of things from here. One of the key things is that my personality test should be a factor for my personal summary in my CV. I didn't even know that before now. I always write my personality statement. I mean, my personal summary with things I know just from maybe my background or experience and not about. I think going forward, I'll be using my personality test to, refine and fine tune my personal summary. So thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful session. I really, really appreciate the time you've shared with us. I don't know if you still have some few minutes to take questions. If you do, we'll
Okay,
see if
let's see.
anybody has it.
Let's see.
Okay.
I know they're already looking for me. Stop expecting me already. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
see.
so let me
If
see
you
the.
have
I can't see any question on Facebook.
okay,
I can't see any
so that means
question.
they everything understood.
Yeah, everybody understood what you have said.
So, but
Well, I'm
they
sure
have, if they have any
we
question, they can
do.
forward to you and to me. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're going to do
I can
is we're
do
going
email.
to when people watch the replays and have any questions, we'll forward it to you and then probably drop them to you in one way or the other. So can we give Coach Sam? Okay. There's one question here. When is the best time to switch career?
Okay, when
So
is the
let's
best
take that question
time?
and then we'll
Okay,
call it a day for today because we know people are waiting for you for another event. So
what's the best time to switch career? The best time to switch career is when you know you need to switch careers. I don't know if you get that. Once you know you need to switch careers, you need to switch career. But before then, you actually need to be sure. You see, personal introspection still comes in here, and you need to answer some questions. Why do you want to switch careers? One, is it because you are not satisfied with the career you are in right now, or you are not compensated well, or you are changing an environment, and where you are going to, they don't have such career type. So these are things you need to. If I'm on one-on-one with a client, these are things we need to examine before we finally conclude that you need to switch career. Or it's because of technology. You observe that in the next 5 years, your career or your industry will go into oblivion. So you need to switch career now before it goes into oblivion. So these are the things you need to consider before you can take a leap and jump into another industry or career type. I think I'll leave it at that.
oh yeah, thank you very much. We had some little technical this thing with your audio, but yeah, I think I got the point you're trying to make.
Hello, Dr. Apple. Are you still there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm still there. I was
Looks
saying
as if
that
you
we
have
had.
internet. Your screen is freeze. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we got the point. He said he got the point.
I
So
think the
yeah,
internet is. Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay.
yeah. So thank you very much, sir. I'll leave you to go now. Because of your time, we will not be able to go back to the backstage to have
Okay.
some more chat, but I guess we'll be able to catch up within the week and have any
Okay.
other conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
The replays will be on and available both on Emit and on all the platforms for as many people as would want to watch it again. And yeah, we're very grateful on behalf of everyone in Life Excel and Success Combat. I want to thank you one more time for honoring our invitation. And we pray that God will bless you and continue to increase you and career wise in Jesus' name. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir.
And
God
that's
bless
why
you.
we call it a day for
Yes, sir.
today. And
Thank you.
everybody, thanks for joining. And we hope you will join us in the next edition when we call on you again next month. We have some things that are coming up quickly in the next few weeks. So we'll share with you on all the social media platforms and get you updated with them. Have a beautiful Saturday afternoon and talk to you soon again.
Thank you.
Bye.
It's a bad.
Bye.